Today is the 16th of May, and today I turned 20. I guess I'm figuring it out. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm walking around trying on 100 different versions of myself. It's just not working, or
it doesn't seem like that. From the outside, I mean.
then I think about home, school, and fuck, I can't connect this life and that life. It just doesn't fit.
Part of me doesn't believe I'll ever be able to produce something of quality to really proudly call art. But honestly, what am I even doing this for? What if I never make it? Is this even sustainable? Putting myself first feels so weird. If I don't treat the things that matter to me as the first priority, it feels unnatural. If I don't put everything into these things, automatic alarm bells start going off in my head. How do I put myself first without feeling like I'm shortchanging and giving less to the things that mean the entire world to me? Sometimes I wonder if I made the right choice doing what I'm doing. It's not conventional, perhaps not even financially stable, and possibly wouldn't even contribute anything to my future. But if I'm not doing this, then what else could I be possibly doing? Recently, I feel like an outsider observing from a mile. Familiar faces, but I can't seem to recognize anyone or anything. No matter how hard I try to recognize that person in the mirror, it just feels insanely out of reach. If I don't know myself, how can anyone else know who I truly am? If I'm so different, do they even recognize me? Why do they still stay? These few years have been exceptionally difficult. I've never felt so lonely ever in my life. I've drifted from almost everyone, and it's no one's fault. Just the reality of circumstance and time. No one will stay by you forever, and even if you want to, you're only allowed as long as they want you to. I hate being 20 because this is the most self-aware I'll ever be. The period of time when nothing is and will be figured out. It's also having to learn to grapple with the fact that everything can change in a split second. Everything that meant the world to you yesterday could mean nothing today. Everything means nothing, but everything is all that we have. It's currently 1:51 AM. I'm the most awake I've ever felt today. It's the time in the day where it finally feels calm. My thoughts finally don't feel too overwhelming, and there isn't this immense pressure to need to accomplish something. Even though it's a little lonely, it's quiet. There is a joy and beauty in knowing that, despite that what I'm doing is often not regarded as the conventional, I'm still consciously making the choice to go against the grain, and do it simply because I enjoy it. And it simply feels right. The human experience is such a contradictory and confusing one. It brings you to extremes only for you to realize it's unhealthy to exist there. But how do you ever feel okay living a life of balance knowing that you can never achieve the highs that you once felt? Contentment alone simply isn't enough. There also has to be grief over the loss of what you could have felt, and acceptance that it's better this way. Things have been moving along recently. I'm still currently operating fully based off intuition, but at least I'm moving. It's just a weird space to be in, right? It's like I'm limiting myself to be less self-aware, but at least I don't suffer the consequences of sticking to design. I guess if it feels right, it feels right. You don't have to have everything figured out. I traveled alone for the first time. I haven't felt so free in so long. In a place where no one knows me, where none of my actions hold any weight, it was just liberating. Everything suddenly just felt so small, so insignificant, like nothing else in the world actually mattered. Tomorrow I drop my debut film. I don't quite know how to feel. This is a big step in the right direction, but yet I don't feel quite satisfied or happy. But I want to create art that makes people feel something. Something that makes you feel like you're human. One day I'll get there. I'm 20 this year. There are so many more things to think about now. Somehow everything seems to be important and useful, and it gets overwhelming. I have no idea what job I'm gonna be doing, how I'm gonna figure out my relationships with things constantly changing, whether I'm doing good enough for my future, or if I'm simply just being a good person. Perhaps I'll never know. But that's okay. You're okay. Everything really means nothing, but it's up to you to make meaning out of something, and in the end, that's all that truly matters.
Listen, stop trying to be somebody else. Don't try to be someone else. Be yourself and know that that's good enough. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be like someone else. Don't try to act like someone else. Be yourself. Be secure with yourself.